And you notice the husband had to leave. But since the husband had to leave, what do you do in a situation like that? I got permission from the husband that if she liked the Kirby, want the Kirby, and need the Kirby, she can buy the Kirby. He said, no problem. If she want the Kirby, she can buy. So therefore, you do the presentation in such a way as if the husband is there, and make sure you let her know before the husband leave that you've gotten permission from him that she can buy the Kirby since you like it, want it, and need it. But from there, let me tell you how to handle the close. Closing means C-L-O-S-E. Some people close the sale. Close, C-L-O-S-E. Some people get close to the sale. At this time, you want to close the sale. The C in closing the sale stand for you got to communicate, you got to commend the people, and you got to allow them to communicate back and forth to you. The L, you want to listen to learn and learn to listen. If you listen to the customer, they will tell you exactly how to close it. The O, you'll always be optimistic. Regardless of what they say, you want to be optimistic. You want to believe from your body language that you can sell the Kirby. Just remember, 50% of communication is body language. Your enthusiasm, your mannerism, your gestures, they can see that. 38% is your conviction, how strong you feel about the product, your believability, the faith you have in the product. And then 8% of it is just your words. So you want to be able to interject body language, conviction as you go through the process. And showing the Kirby, also remember, in closing, this is the intimacy of the presentation. So you want to use voice modulation. You want to have voice modulation in a sense so that they can feel comfortable talking to you. So therefore, you want to lower your voice, your pitch, your pace, and tone, such as this. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, after seeing the presentation, I can tell you like it, I can tell you want it, I can tell you need it. Now, what are the things you like most about the Kirby? Give her a chance to really express herself. Why do you say those things, Mrs. Jones? She's going to tell you. Now, why do you say those things in comparison to your machine? What would you say is the difference between the new Kirby and the Kirby you have? Allow her to express herself. Believe it or not, Mrs. Jones, 90 to 98%, maybe 99% of the people that buy Kirbys from us usually respond the same way. Let me tell you what impressed me with the Kirby, the warranty. Now, the Avalier 2, the first year, anything goes wrong with the machine, you have a 3-year limited warranty. Anything goes wrong for the first 3 years, under negligence of breakage, they fix it absolutely free in the 4 Bs. You don't have to buy the belts, have to buy the bags, the bulb, and the brushes. Those are small miniature things if something go wrong with that. After that, you have a lifetime rebuild and warranty. Had a Kirby 12, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. The machine was totally destroyed in fire or totally need to be replaced. You can have the machine rebuilt for $175 plus the CPI, Consumer Price Index. You just go 3 or 4% a year. That's inflation rates. And then you have the fire protection plan. With the fire protection plan, that simply means if the machine was destroyed in fire, you have certification to prove that it was destroyed in fire, send it to the company for 90 days, again, $175 plus the CPI, the company will replace it. If they cannot replace your machine, they give you another machine for $175. Isn't it fantastic? Plus the CPI, inflation rate goes up 4 to 5% a year. That's absolutely fantastic. The main objective is that once you own a Kirby, you really sincerely don't have to buy a new Kirby unless you just want to upgrade with the new features and benefits like you're doing this Avalier 2 in comparison to the Centrio 2. Now, another question I ask her, if you had the Kirby, what's the first place you would use your Kirby? And she'll tell you. Another thing I ask, since you have the Kirby, since you want the Kirby, since you need the Kirby, now, how often would you say did you use your old Kirby? And she'll tell you. So you can see if you've been in this house for 10 years and you had this Kirby for 8 or 10 years, you can see the debris we get in today with the new Avalier 2, it cleans much more efficient, a lot easier, and it gets the job done a lot faster. So with the Avalier 2, you could use it, but you probably wouldn't have to use it as much as you use the Centrio 2. That's one of the benefits of having the new Kirby. And besides, You can upgrade it and get a good trade on your machine while your machine is in good condition. The last thing I want to say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, well, Mrs. Jones, in your case, if the Avalier 2 was in the closet and the Centrio 2 was in the closet, you had to use one tomorrow, which one would you use? No doubt she said the Avalier 2. Mesh again. If the Avalier 2 was in the closet and your machine, the Centrio 2, was in the closet, you had to use one tomorrow, which one you use? Again, she would say the Avalier 2. Mrs. Jones will measure one more time. If the Avalier 2 was in the closet and the Centrio 2 was in the closet, you had to use one tomorrow, which one would you use? No doubt she would say the Avalier 2. So she said, why you keep asking me the same question? Because, Mrs. Jones, the Avalier 2 is not in the closet. You can't use the Avalier 2 unless we put it in the closet. Now do me a favor. If you could take your Centrio 2 and set it on the porch so my supervisor will know where I am, and when I'm finished the presentation, I can go ahead and put the Avalier 2 in the closet so you can start using the Avalier 2 tomorrow or later on this evening whenever you decide to do it. Whatever you do, make sure your post closing. You explain to her and teach her how to use that new Kirby. Don't go through the entire presentation. Make sure she understands how to cut it on, how to adjust it down, how to pull the dirt, and let her realize that, ma'am, when you get rid of shampoo or whatever you want to do, you might not remember this, but whenever you decide to do it, go to YouTube, you can get it done that way, or you can go Kirby.com. They have a way that you can see how to use the presentation, or you can call me back. And I'll be glad to come back and show you how to use that shampoo. And we have a program we call the ROL program, R-O-L. That means referrals, trading your old vacuum, and let's do business today. You'll get a chance to, by giving me referrals, 3 to 5 referrals, I'll come back, shampoo another carpet for you, and I do a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious indefatigable, extraordinary, unbelievable, fantastic job for you today. So, Mrs. Jones, I know you like the Kirby. I know you want it. I know you need it. Welcome to the Kirby family. R-H-I, R-H-I, R-H-I in Rana, Rana, R-H-I, R-H-I, R-H-I in a Rana, Rana. Bye.